Hey Flosstube, it's Lori of MischievousStitches. I was just here with you yesterday, but I'm back today as a part of another Flosstube collaboration. This time we're going to be focusing on fibers. There's going to be 9 other Flosstubers. Some of your favorites will be found there. They're going to be focusing on a specific fiber, whether it be brand or the fiber themselves, what they are constructed of. I'm going to be focusing on classic colorworks. So I pulled out my little collection that I have in my little photo box in the little floss away bags. And what I'm focusing on, as I said, is going to be classic colorworks. Now, classic colorworks, I have several in here that are not actual classic colorworks, but crescent colors. Classic colorworks was formerly crescent colorworks. Did you know that? Also, there's a big name that is associated, a big name in our little community, our little Stitchers world, with classic colorworks. The son of designer Diane Williams of Little House Needlework, Ronnie, is actually the dyer for classic colorworks. Now, classic colorworks, of course, Little House supplies those, but it is distributed by Hoffman's as well as Yarn Tree. Now, Hoffman's does not, and I did not know until researching information for this collaboration, but Hoffman's only distributes cotton threads. And the base that is used for the classic colorworks is the 6-stranded or 6-ply DMC threads, DMC white. So there you go. When I was looking through the threads that I have on hand, of course they're variegated, they're hand-dyed threads, but they seem to be more evenly dyed than some of the others. Now, there are some that are special release. I did just pull a few. You can see here, this is a cotton candy, and of course it looks like 2 different colors in the same strand. So it is more variegated than others, where you can see these colors here are more evenly variegated. Of course, they're cotton. We all love our DMC. And there are times where these run around $2.75 for a card of crescent colorworks, depending on what shop you're at, whether you're buying them online. They are widely available in the online shops and in local needlework shops. But some of us still like to go right back to our DMC, or we like to use the conversion charts. I want to warn you with those. They're done by people just like you and I. They're taking the threads that they have on hand and they're using them to make the conversion charts. And once they're out there on the internet, of course they're out there for a while. What happens, our dyes are just like other things. Some are more popular than others at different times. Some go out of business. So the dyers have to use what they have readily available to them. So there's often not a consistent color for some of these threads. And that is not just classic colorworks. So I advise you that when you're trying to use these conversion charts, it's easier to use the threads and try to convert them when you're in a local needlework shop, so that you can pull those colors and compare them to the DMC for yourself. It'll make it a lot easier so that you get a truer conversion to those colors. Now, classic colorworks does not just dye the cotton floss. They also dye silk, which we know as Belle Soie, and they also do pearl cotton number 9. Currently, they are discontinuing the line of pearl cotton that they have. It is available now, but once that source is depleted, they will not be dyeing it again. Now, like I said, Hoffman's does not distribute the cotton thread, the silk thread, but only cottons. Keep that in mind. Also, when I did a search on Hoffman's site for classic colorworks threads, I come up with 342 different entries. Now remember, that also includes the pearl cotton that is discontinued, but that is still a lot of thread colors. Anytime you want to see what is actually available by any designer, any thread dyer, you can always go to Hoffman's Distributing, and of course I'm sure that they don't carry everyone, but you can see everything that is available at that time for that designer, or at that time for that thread dyer. So you may want to try that out. I found it really interesting. I did pull out a couple of items that I have One is, this is a little house piece. She's not very presentable. I did not iron her up. This is Millicent Turner, which I actually used the silk floss for this one, the Classic Colorworks Silks, which is the Belle Soise. And this is Millicent Turner. I also pulled out another old finish that I had, and it is a Silver Streets sampler. And the only place that I used the Classic Colorworks was at the top. Now I stitched this over one on a 28 count even weave, but see that sky behind the burning bush? That is a Classic Colorworks. And you can see that it is heavily variegated. But I think it's perfect because it looks just like a sunrise. And I know that you're going to want to see the whole thing, but I used that to illustrate how the thread actually stitches up. Could you imagine just stitching that and doing the multiple color changes that would be needed to give the same effect of a sunrise, versus using something like the Classic Colorworks to stitch it, and it comes with its own variegation and you get the same effect without having to change the thread in the needle so often. Now, as a reminder, I want to let you know once again that there are 9 other floss tubers that are participating in this, and I will link them all below. But in addition to that, this collaboration for Mischievous Stitches is going to be sponsored, or is being sponsored, by Jen of Jen's Stitching Niche. Jen has her own shop on Etsy, which I will also link below, as well as her Flosstube, so you can go visit her. But she is offering a 15% discount, not just on the Classic Colorworks that she has in stock, but on everything on her site. The coupon code for this will be Mischievous with a capital M, and this will be offered from today through August 15th. In addition to that, she's going to offer free shipping for any order over $35 during that time, once again, when you use the code Mischievous. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope you learned a little something today. And until next time, happy stitching. Bye-bye.